She had dreamed of this day since she was a little girl. The dress, the vows, the promise of forever. But instead of walking down the aisle with joy in her heart, she found herself sitting alone on cold stone steps, her wedding dress stained with tears, wondering how kindness could disappear so fast. What happened next would change not just her wedding day, but her life forever. Before we begin, if stories of hope, compassion, and second chances move your heart, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below. You're watching Kindness Diaries, a place where real emotions and simple acts of kindness remind us who we truly are. Emily never thought her wedding day would feel like a battle. She stood in front of the mirror that morning, hands shaking slightly as she smoothed her ivory dress. It wasn't expensive, but it was perfect to her. Simple. Elegant. Honest. Just like the life she hoped to build with Mark. Mark had always told her he loved her for who she was. She believed him. But his family was a different story. From the moment Emily met them, she felt like she didn't quite fit. They were wealthy, polished, and used to a certain image. Emily was a public school art teacher who grew up with a single mom and learned early how to stretch a dollar and keep her heart open. She tried. God, she tried. She smiled at every backhanded comment, ignored the judgmental looks, and reminded herself that love mattered more than approval. The wedding was held at Mark's family estate, a place that looked like it belonged in a magazine. White columns, trimmed hedges, and even a private jet resting quietly on the lawn. Emily felt small there, but she told herself it didn't matter. She was marrying the men she loved. As guests arrived, whispers followed her. She noticed Mark's mother, Claire, watching her with a tight smile. His sister barely acknowledged her. His father didn't say a word. Still, Emily held on. Until everything fell apart. Just minutes before the ceremony, Claire pulled Emily aside. Her voice was calm, but her words were sharp. "This wedding is a mistake," she said. "You're embarrassing our family." Emily laughed nervously, thinking it was a joke. It wasn't. Claire went on, listing everything Emily wasn't. Not rich enough. Not connected enough. Not the right kind of woman. Then she said the words that shattered Emily's heart. "You need to leave. Now." Emily looked around, searching for Mark. He wasn't there. No one stood up for her. And before she could even process what was happening, security was called. Guests stared. Phones came out. Her dream day turned into public humiliation. Emily was escorted outside in her wedding dress. She collapsed onto the stone steps near the entrance, her body shaking with sobs she couldn't control. Her hands covered her face as years of trying to be enough crashed down on her all at once. She felt invisible. Disposable. Broken. Behind her, the wedding continued as if nothing had happened. That's when she heard a familiar voice. She looked up, stunned. Standing at the end of the driveway was her older brother, Daniel. Daniel wasn't supposed to be there until later. He lived across the country and worked long hours as a mechanic. He rarely wore suits. But there he was, walking toward her in jeans and a simple button-down, eyes filled with concern. He didn't ask questions. He didn't look at the mansion or the jet or the people staring. He knelt in front of her, took off his jacket, and gently wrapped it around her shoulders. "It's okay," he said softly. "I've got you." Those 4 words did something no apology ever could. Emily broke down completely, leaning into her brother like she had when they were kids. Daniel listened as she tried to explain through tears what had happened. His jaw tightened, not with rage, but with resolve. He stood up, turned toward the crowd, and spoke clearly and calmly. "This woman is my sister," he said. "And if anyone thinks she deserves to be treated like this, then you don't deserve her kindness." Silence filled the air. Then something unexpected happened. People started to move. One by one, guests walked away from the ceremony. Emily's co-workers. Old friends. Even a few relatives from Mark's side who looked ashamed. They came to her, hugged her, offered words of support. Someone brought her water. Someone else wiped her tears. Mark finally appeared, panic written across his face. But Emily saw him clearly for the first time. He hadn't stopped it. He hadn't protected her. And in that moment, she understood something painful but powerful. Love without kindness isn't love at all. Daniel helped her stand. "Let's go," he said. They didn't leave in a fancy car. They drove to a small diner down the road. Emily still in her wedding dress. Daniel still standing proudly beside her. The staff didn't stare. They smiled. They brought coffee. Someone paid for their meal anonymously. Kindness showed up where she least expected it. In the weeks that followed, Emily called off the marriage. It wasn't easy. It hurt deeply. But she wasn't alone. Daniel checked in every day. Friends surrounded her. Her students made her cards that said things like, "You matter" and "You're brave." Slowly, Emily healed. Months later, she started a small community art program for kids who felt overlooked. She taught them how to express pain, hope, and love through color and creativity. She named it Second Chances. And Daniel. He never once said, "I told you so." He just showed up. Again and again. Years later, Emily would say the worst day of her life became the day she learned her true worth. Not because someone rejected her, but because someone chose her with kindness. Sometimes kindness doesn't look grand. Sometimes it looks like a jacket around shaking shoulders. A voice that says, "I've got you." Or the courage to walk away from cruelty and choose compassion instead. If this story touched your heart, let it remind you of this: kindness has the power to rewrite endings, heal deep wounds, and reveal who truly stands beside us. Go out today and be that kindness for someone else.